Man, I am so ready for this year to be over. If you don't know what this is, then I recommend you check out my summer collection videos for a more in-depth description. But basically, these videos serve as a wrap-up to the year by talking about stuff I didn't get around to reviewing for one reason or another. So let's get into it.
Thank goodness you're here. And a ranger.
I was originally going to do a double feature for these games, but ended up not due to not really having much to say about them. Arranger is a charming little puzzle game with a unique idea, but honestly I didn't really get into it enough to review it. Still a good game, but I just didn't play it enough for some reason. On the other hand, I got into and really liked Thank Goodness You're Here, which is a little British comedy game with a really vibrant and appealing looking art style and animation, as well as amazing comedy. If there was a game award for funniest game of the year, then this would win, and it got a good few laughs out of me.
The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom.
I didn't get too far into this game, not because something else came up, but rather because it was just boring. It was a struggle to force myself to play it, and it got to a point where I just gave up and moved on to something more interesting. When playing a game becomes homework, then personally, it's not worth it.
UFO 50.
UFO 50 is a fun little novelty of a game, being a collection of 50 NES-style games, all with their own depthful gameplay and visuals that make each game believable as games from the 80s. If you showed someone some of these games and said that it was an obscure game from the NES, then they would probably believe you, and that's honestly a real achievement.
Mouthwashing.
I went into Mouthwashing expecting it to be another generic indie horror game like the hundreds of others that get flooded into Steam, but I walked away from it absolutely stunned. Where Mouthwashing lacks in gameplay, it makes up for tenfold with its story and characters. It shows the story of what happens when a few people are pushed to their limits, and how each of them deals with it. If you haven't played it, it's really cheap and it's really short, only lasting around 2 hours, and I highly recommend it to anyone looking for a new, unique horror game to play.
The Plucky Squire.
Just like Zelda, I found myself struggling to play this game, which is a shame because I was extremely hyped for the Plucky Squire. The game definitely has a certain amount of style with fluid and charming looking animations, but the gameplay feels underbaked and overall not very satisfying.
Amanda the Adventurer 2.
Just like the first game, Amanda the Adventurer 2 isn't really a scary horror game, but it is a pretty fun escape room game with some neat puzzles. I found myself not liking this game as much as the first, but I still think it's worth checking out, especially if you're someone who loves escape room type games. That's all I got for now. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and hit that bell icon to be notified for whenever I make a new video. The next video will be the Winter Movies Collection, so if you're interested in that, or interested in supporting the channel more, then turn on notifications and check out my other videos. Okay, that's it. Bye.